Hi, I'm Neil Crone, and I have the wonderful good fortune to play the role of Berg, Benjamin the Berg Burger, who is the manager slash coach slash catcher for the Box Springs. He's a very lovable guy, very sweet character, kind of flawed, but he has this wonderful personality trait where he's so overly emotional about stuff. Whenever he gives the team a pep talk or an end of game kind of circle up game, he ends up in tears. No matter what he's saying, he ends up crying. So, I think, in high school, I was always that kid who wanted to be the center of attention, or class clown or whatever, and doing assemblies and stuff, and I always liked doing that, but I never really had anybody's hand on the small of my back saying, hey, you should become an actor. I don't know anybody's parents who would ever say that to them. They'd always say, you should become an engineer or a teacher or get a real job. And I kind of kept putting it off, and I literally went to teacher's college. I became a high school teacher for 3 years. But the whole time I was doing that, I was performing downtown. I was doing improv in clubs or comedy. And in my final year of teaching, I went half-time with the thought that if I get an important audition, I want to be able to leave this. And I literally, within a couple of months of that, I had an audition for Second City, and they hired me, and I never looked back, as they say. Yeah, I was very fortunate. I was in the touring company for a while. Colin Mockery and I were roommates for a year, and then I went to Main Stage with Colin, and worked with Ryan Stiles and Colin on Main Stage, and just had a ball. Really, you cannot go there and not learn tons of stuff. Working on this show is an absolute joy. It really is. It's in spite of the fact we have a very heavy work schedule. Things have been condensed into a very few days, long days, busy days. But it's been fun, and that I think is due in large part to Michael and Daniel, who are the show's creators and showrunner and director. Because they're decent guys, they're great guys, and they're very compassionate, good-humored, nice people. And that trickles down, I think, and they've treated everybody, myself included, with nothing but respect and kindness and graciousness for the entire time we're here. So when you're treated that way, you feel like giving back that same kind of thing, and so people go the extra mile when it's needed, and we all want to do a great job, and we want this show to be a success, and I think it's going to be as a result of that. Well, we had a night shoot, and nobody likes night shoots. Nobody that I know remotely likes shooting at night, even when it's nice weather out. And on this particular night, we were down at a baseball diamond down on the lake shore, and we had a bunch of baseball sequences, all of our baseball sequences to shoot. So a very busy night. And we were okay weather-wise from about 6 until 12:30, and then the heavens just opened up, and the wind came in. It was coming in sideways at some points. That could have been a really miserable night with tempers flaring and all kinds of stuff going wrong, but it ended up being good. The guys managed to rejig stuff and get the stuff they needed as much as they could possibly get from what was really a piss poor night to shoot in. And it rained. I mean, I was in the very last shot of the night, which was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and we had moved home plate out onto the grass, and we faked stuff. It's amazing what you can get away with when you're clever with a camera. They faked everything, and it's gonna end up looking great. And that again is due in large part to the director and the DP and stuff. And we had fun, but nobody will forget that night anyway. Well, the last few days of it, this whole shoot's been eventful for me. There's been a lot of weird things going on. I mean, and not to get too personal, but my mother passed away like 2 weeks ago. I have 2 different shows shooting at the same time, and it's a rigorous schedule. And then a day or two ago, I had this thing where I had this intestinal cramping going on, and there was some kind of problem, and I was in terrible pain. And I came to the set, and I told the guys what was going on. They said, okay, let's try to get your first scene shot, then you've got a break. And Daniel said, you can go to my house and lie down until you feel better. Shot the scene, went to his place, and was lying there for 4 or 5 hours and just was not getting better. And finally I had to, the call that every actor hates to make is tell the director, I have to leave. I have to go to the hospital. And they couldn't have been more gracious about it. They even offered to drive me to the hospital. And I'm fine now, right as rain. But again, to their credit, they managed to rejig that whole day and get their day. And now we're on the final day, and we're going to get this one, and it's going to be fantastic. I actually have the very first, I had the professionally, I still have my very first paycheck that was from a CBC radio gig that I did when I was still in high school, actually. A friend of mine, his dad worked for the CBC, and they wanted a voice, somebody playing the character of Holden Caulfield from Catcher in the Rye. And so I got to read that, and that was my first taste of doing that kind of thing. Prior to that, of course, I was doing, assemblies, as I said. Did a lot of community theater out of high school, and just doing plays that way and stuff, and always kind of keeping a hand in. Fell in love with improvisation when I started to take workshops at Theater Sports, and then later on at Second City. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Been great hanging out with you. Please check out these other shows we got on for you, so other videos to watch. Hit subscribe, and please check us out. Check out The Ninth at cbc.ca. See you soon.